registered, the empty seats, and aren't here yet. So we were thinking, okay, maybe they're on their way, but we're not waiting for them any longer. We're going to go ahead and get started and get right to our program. And of course, we are recording, and as we always do, so folks can watch it afterwards. You all can watch it afterwards, and those who weren't able to attend here today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. You ready for me? Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Midlothian Business Breakfast for October. We're happy all of you are here today. When we did our member survey, we got a lot of positive feedback about our education programs related to marketing your small business, your organization, how to reach audiences and effectively communicate with them in an affordable way. Our mascot is saying hello to his coworker here. So before I get started, I want to let you know that we've got some things coming up at the Chamber that you would want to be interested in. 1 week from today is our State of the District Luncheon. Of course, that's a superintendent. She's new with the district. I can tell you all, as small business owners and organization managers, there's probably no more important single component to good quality growth than good schools. That includes our higher education and our public education. So very important that we've got these two presentations 1 week apart here in October, launching that as a very important opportunity. And so we're looking forward to having all of you there. Of course, we are in auction season, so the Chamber's been very busy getting ready for our auction, which will be Saturday, November 6th. I hope if you're not registered, please get registered. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you'll be helping the Chamber raise funds for our programs that we present to all of our small businesses. So let me go ahead and get with our program today. Our speaker is Courtney Vandiver. Courtney is a social media expert. She's been with Navarro College for 9 years. And when we were discussing with our education committee who could do a presentation about marketing your small business, her name immediately came up as someone who could help you identify the best practices, the where's, why's, and how's. So without further delay, I'm going to introduce Courtney Vandiver. Please come forward, Courtney. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So kind of just a little bit about my background. I actually graduated from Ennis High School. And I went to Navarro College, got a scholarship, loved my time there, went to A&M. And then the week after I graduated from A&M, I came back to work for Navarro because I loved it so much. I'm mainly in the Corsicana campus. I worked in our recruiting department, and I also keep our mascot, Bo. So this is Beauregard the 7th. He'll be 3 in December. So anything he does, we can, he's just a puppy. So, well, I'm glad y'all are all here today. This is exciting. Okay. So these are some numbers, but really what this means to me is social media is crucial. It's a necessity. You have to have it. When people are searching for you on any platform, they're going to be looking up you on social media even before Google. Like if I'm looking for a fun restaurant, I'm not going to go to Google. I'm going to go to Instagram. So it's really, really important what kind of messaging you're going to put out there and kind of your brand and what you're portraying to the world. It's absolutely critical. And of course, 3.8 billion social media users. And then of course with age, it's going to vary. So that's kind of where it comes into play, which platform. Each audience is going to be a little bit different in what they are wanting to see and what they like to see and that sort of stuff. Okay, so insights. This is where you're getting your information, okay? So this is just kind of a snippet. This is within Facebook, okay? So you have your Creator Studio, which is what I like to use. There's also a Business Studio. But what it's going to tell you is your performance, okay? So what time to post things, what people like to see, what gets people's attention. Sometimes, like if it's just a basic graphic, like there's not anybody's face in it, it's probably not going to get a lot of, people, they like to see people, Another thing is I'm kind of, I don't know if y'all like to use stock photos or if we're at that level yet, but I feel like our audience does not like, not like that, okay? So I like real people. It's really, really important to me. People are key. So, but insights, they're going to tell you your best times to share, your demographics. That's key, What is your ideal customer? Is it a 50-year-old single mom? Like who are you targeting? And then really, and it comes down to trial and error, okay? So your insights are going to tell you a lot of information, but really you have to play around with it a lot. So you're going to see your results and go from there, and so you can either, make edits or whatever. I hope y'all all are aware of the capabilities within Creator Studio or Business Studio within Facebook. As far as like planning out your content, I think that's kind of one of the best ways to get organized, to kind of get you a system in place and start scheduling things. Because it can be super crazy, when events start happening and stuff like that. It's important if you're kind of, ahead of the game and you can have things scheduled out that you want to talk about, okay? So you can also, you can see all your insights, all your performance, your engagement. That's really, you might see like this many likes, but your engagement, can really, really increase, based on like shares and tags and things like that. So that's really your more, they call them vanity metrics when you have like a lot of likes, but you're not getting a lot of engagement in your page. So you really want the engagement more so than just a traditional like, which is kind of what you think in your head. You're like, oh, I want this many likes. But really you want that engagement, which is like shares and tags and things like that. Which I'm a big believer in, your friends and your family, if they're supporting you, like you want them to share your stuff. That way that many more eyes see it, okay? Okay, so this is a little snippet about Facebook. So, the majority of Americans use Facebook or checking it daily. Most people access it around 8 times a day. That's wild, And I don't know if y'all have an iPhone, but it'll show you your screen time. Just think about all that screen time daily. And probably the majority of that is focused on social media, okay? So that is a lot of time people are spending looking at things online. Most people are looking at it mobile versus their laptop, And then you also want to, especially if you're a true business, you're trying to sell things, you want to get your information and, you can do newsletters and things like that. But basically, if you have a way to capture all the information from social media, that's just another way to target your ideal customers. Okay, and I don't know exactly if this is a thing anymore, but a lot of people a few years ago were wanting to do personal, like instead of creating a business Facebook page, you would do a personal one, and you really don't want to do that because you're just missing out on so much of the insights and able to really target your people. And then you'd have to do a friend request, and it's just a lot more difficult. So I would not recommend that in any way. So so don't do that one, okay? Okay. So kind of the hows of this. So you want to take photos, and this is kind of what I was meaning. A lot of times photos work better than a creative image from a designer. So kind of a lot of times you think in your head, oh, I need a graphic designer and I need them to make all this beautiful stuff for me. But really, in my experience, I found that people like pictures of people better than this beautifully designed, artwork or whatever when you're sharing it. So don't get too caught up in like, I don't have the talent or any of that kind of stuff. Pictures of people is key. And so So yes, we are selling things, you know, and that sort of thing. But what it is you're building your brand loyalty. So you're finding your people and the people that like you and you like them, and they're loyal to you. They're your loyal customers. And from there, you know, you're sharing, you know, your mission and your goals and things like that. So they're really connected to you. So they want to support you more. So it's brand awareness and brand loyalty. So basically, you support them, they support you, kind of thing is how I think of it in my mind. Okay, video is a really big thing. Facebook as well as Instagram are putting huge emphasis on video content, and this has only grown lately. So if you are able to do video in any way, they say that it performs better. Videos are challenging, though, to the average person, I would say, because that's not, you know, a skill set that just anybody has. But what you can do is use different apps for it, okay? So, like, if you have an iPhone, some easy things are like slow-mo video or just a regular video. Like, it might not have to be the most professional thing in the world, but, you know, set your background, make it look nice, and then you can, you know, have a lot more eyes on it because it's a video. Facebook Live is a streaming feature, and so, I mean, that's always an option too. And then, of course, it gives video content priority. And I kind of mentioned the engagement rate, but this is basically your total clicks, likes, shares, comments, and how many people saw the post, okay? So your entire reach, you know, like in this room, if everyone shared it with all of their people, you know, it might be up to like 5,000, you know, depending on how many friends and that sort of stuff, okay? Okay, so this is kind of the method, okay? So just because you have, you know, 5,000 people that are following you doesn't mean that those 5,000 people are going to see everything you post. So, so especially if we have like an event coming up, you don't really want to just like talk about it one time, you know, because what are the chances that each of your 5,000 people saw it? So it's okay to share things multiple times, because, you know, thinking about you on social media, like what part of your day, you know, you might only check it first thing in the morning, but I might check it at 10 o'clock, you know, so just all the variety of different people's schedules and stuff like that, okay? Okay, and so it's, what this shows, the statistics are that if it's an organic reach, which is just I post something from the Navarro College page, it's only like 2% of my people will actually see it. That's why sharing and tagging and things like that are so critical to build up that engagement and that reach, okay? Okay, so let's see. And so this is all based on the algorithm, okay? So Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, they know what you like. So, you know, the people that you engage with more, you're liking, you're sharing, that sort of stuff, they know that you like it, so they're going to show you that sort of stuff. So that's how it works for your customers as well. If they know that they really are interacting with that brand, they're definitely going to continue on from there, okay? Okay. Okay, and so like if a post is not producing very much engagement, like maybe it's just a really basic graphic and not a lot of people see it, the algorithm is going to say that it's low quality. And so then that means that those posts hurt the chances of it appearing in your people's news feed later on, okay? So that's why that engagement statistics are like really important, okay? Okay, and then, I mean, we know this, but it's important to say, you want your content to be relevant, interesting, and entertainment for your target audience, which is, you know, we want to see that kind of stuff on social media, okay? So you have to be creative, be fun, but you want it to be relative, so that, your people will understand your vision. Okay, so for stories, Facebook and Instagram both have stories. So, and those only stay for 24 hours. But that's more kind of like what's happening. So it's live, So maybe you're in an event, that's what's live, okay? So you can do videos, pictures, that sort of stuff. That actually gets a lot of people usually see our stories, even like a much higher number than what would see our posts. So I would really recommend using stories on Instagram and on Facebook, okay? But do keep in mind, it's not going to last longer than 24 hours. Also, what's great too is if your customers happen to share about you, then you can share it on your stories, which is super fun. Because you're showing people that other people like your product, okay? So that's really fun. On Instagram, you can save these stories to your highlights. So, things that come up a lot, like for us, like football games or bow or different kinds of events, okay? You can save it to a highlight. So you can combine all of that so people can see your stories of what's happening, okay? Okay, you can also do polls, which is definitely fun. And if maybe you were a clothing business and you wanted to see, if you're at market and you want to see which dress people like more, you can do a poll to actually use that to help you plan things out. And then Snapchat, it does have a swipe up feature, which is kind of fun. So that can take you directly to a website. Okay, so that's important to actually get you there. All the other platforms, you actually have to click and go there, okay? Okay, so a little bit about Instagram. So this is going to be a little bit of a younger age group, 1 billion active users, most use it daily. And then this Instagram is really the most popular influencer marketing. So, you sending me something and then I talk about it myself from my personal experience, okay? So that's a really fun way to have your customers sharing what you want, which, increases your customers. So, okay, so as far as Twitter, most people want to discover something new and interesting. Twitter has more than 330 million active users. Customer service is key there. So a lot of people would tag your company and ask you to help with certain situation. That's a really big deal. And it's usually very interactive. So that's something that might happen to you. You can also, of course, watch your competition, go viral. A lot of tweets have a big opportunity to go viral. And then hashtags are really important. That really applies to Twitter and Instagram, okay? So your hashtags, so that more people see your things and it can show up in more people's feeds, okay? Okay, so LinkedIn. So this is the more, high level social media is how I kind of think of it. It's the most trusted network. And so this is more, for your educated business type people. But I do think it's super important to kind of have appearances in all the different platforms. And you just have to target it to your audience of what, may be on LinkedIn or the type of people that might be on Twitter, okay? And then for lead generation, so actually, getting a customer, it's shown to be a little bit more effective because the people probably are more serious, okay? Okay, so kind of key concepts, okay? Consistent messaging. So your people know what times and what types of things you share, okay? So that consistent messaging is really important. So you never really want to go like a week without posting on social media. And it depends on your audience too, you know, how many times a day you're going to post. But your audience gets used to that, and so they know that they might see a post, you know, in the evening from Navarro College, or maybe it's first thing in the morning, kind of depending on what type of people are interested in your business. But you want to have that consistent messaging. That is really important, okay? And then it's really a good idea to stick with your consistent visuals. So like on Instagram, you know, your grid is really important, the actual, you know, looks of it, okay? So you want to have consistent visuals, colors, filters, you know, that sort of stuff, okay? And it comes down to strategy, okay? So defining what kind of content you're going to share, how it's going to be distributed, and then, you know, editing a little bit in between platforms. Like you don't want to say the same verbiage you would say on Facebook as you would say on Instagram, okay? Depending on, you know, the product and, you know, lots of different things. But you probably want to cater it a little bit differently on each platform, okay? And then smaller details, like the way that you say things, your tone and your voice, kind of figuring out what you ideally would like it to be, and then sticking with that, okay? You know, people can tell if it, you know, in one campaign it's, you know, saying a certain way, and then another one sounds a little different, okay? So kind of figuring out what's important to you and then your customers and going from there, okay? But just being consistent with it, you know, find one that works and stick with it. Okay, and of course you always want to be sure you're staying true to your business and what you really believe in and your mission and your values and that sort of stuff. And then understanding your customers. So figuring out those target demographics, and then trying to figure out, you know, how to reach and engage with them best, okay? And then your statistics and your data, it's really important to actually, you know, figure out which people you might be able to reach prospectively. And then you can use it down, you know, if you're really high level, you might have character personas. So if you're targeting different types of people in different stages of life, you're catering different things to different people, okay? Okay, so this is more like, you know, hands-on, like what are you really going to be sharing, okay? What content really are we going to share with the people? So behind the scenes, that's something a lot of times people don't think about, but like, you know, say you're planning an event and, you know, the tablecloths and the decorations starts coming in. That's a good way to kind of hype people up about it, okay? Or maybe a new product arrives. Maybe, you know, something that you wouldn't exactly think like, oh, I think I'm going to share that on social media. But maybe a truck is delivered of new equipment of some kind. That's something that can be shared that can get people really excited that you wouldn't necessarily think about, okay? One of my favorite things that people love is introduction to your employees. Your people are kind of the heart of your organization. So it's an introduction like, you know, meet Dr. Tara Peters, okay? This is her background. This is where she came from. And what's really great about that is you kind of, you figure out which people, who people like, and then they start sharing it, and then she sees it shares it with all her friends. And plus it kind of just goes back down to the mission of your organization and what you're trying to portray to the world, okay? So people, even if it's, you know, a cashier, people love that, okay? So let people meet your employees. Okay, so user-generated content. So that's, you know, if I shared a picture about Navarro College and then Navarro College uses that picture, okay? And what you can do is ask them to share it, but that also performs really well too because it's coming from a customer, okay? So you see it from their eyes. Hello, Beauregard. Okay. So, okay, another thing people kind of don't think about sharing usually, but a lot of things, you know it because it's your industry, but the average Joe does not know that information, okay? So some did you knows, or can you believe that this statistic or whatever. So kind of catering that to whatever industry you're in. is really fun as well, okay? You can always do polls. So that's a good way to kind of get people engaged and see what they're interested in. Instagram boomerangs, that's another one, when we were talking about videos, that's a really easy way, that's considered a video. So it's really, 4 seconds, and it's basically if Bo were to give a high five, okay? So it goes up and down, okay? So that's a really good way to do boomerangs as well. It looks really cute. Maybe you have a new shirt and you sway it like this. So you're just in the Instagram app and you're go to boomerang, okay? Time-lapse videos, oh, that's another one of my favorite. So say you're stocking something, or we're setting up for graduation, or we have a graphic designer in our artist. He did a check one time, and it was so fun to watch him do this check. Okay, so time-lapse, and that's just like on your iPhone, you just scroll on over and do a time-lapse, okay? So those are really fun as well. Love those. Those are one of my favorites. So videos, you can edit using iMovie if you have an iPhone and you're interested in that. So that's an easy way to kind of edit videos for, the non-video editor like some of us are, And then don't forget about portrait mode. That is a really good way to make your picture look really, really high quality when it just came from your phone. Panoramas are really fun. That's another just a setting on your phone, on your camera. And then slow motion, big fan of those as well, especially maybe for like a running Beauregard or something. So those are fun. Another tool to use is Lightroom. So it's just an app, it's free, and that's a good way to kind of have a consistent look in your pictures. So you can do that, just figure out which works best and which you like best and kind of stick with that. Takeovers are really fun as well. So that's maybe I have Dean Underwood do a day in the life on the Midlothian campus, okay? So it's from her perspective. So maybe you do it with an employee or a student, or kind of just depends on your area. But that's fun to kind of get their take on everything, and it's from their point of view, which is really fun. So you definitely want to make sure, all of everything that they share is what you want to portray, but it's really fun because it's from their perspective. Okay, so a few easy mistakes to make. So only sharing from 9 to 5, that's when scheduling comes into play. So, even thinking about you, when are you on social media the most? It's probably not between 9 to 5. So you want to think about when people are online and that sort of stuff, and then schedule it and manage it that way, okay? When people tag you, it's really important for people to tag you, and I love when people tag us, okay? But really respond to that and let them know that you're appreciative that they posted about you and that sort of stuff, okay? That way maybe they'll do it again as well. But it's also coming from their perspective. And then share the love. This is on any platform. A retweet or a share can go a long way. So that's really good as well, okay? Link shorteners. Okay, so Bitly, I like to use Bitly. So if I was going to share about, one of our majors or something like that, and it was really long and it was, really curvy in the link. So Bitly, it's free, and you can make it, if it was like bit.ly/Beauregard, and you can kind of choose most of the time. You can do a custom link. That way things just look better, visually. Plus, what's really fun about that is you can track all your clicks, and it'll show you which platforms you got the most interaction from, so that's really fun too, okay? Okay, so I kind of want to open it up to y'all a little bit here. What are y'all having successes with, and kind of what stage are we at, and can we talk about it? In conferences, one of my favorite things is kind of the interaction you get. That's the best information. Anybody wanna talk? Yes, please.
We have trouble in our reach out. Like,
yes.
Some staff will have 30. Some staff will have 100 and something. The reach is what we're having the biggest problem with.
Okay. So I would say looking at like what times are these consistent times? Yeah. Okay. So the time is probably coming into play. Probably also the type of content. So whether it's, real life people, whether it's a video, that sort of thing.
We've noticed, like, I can just put the word Wednesday and just tell, like, I put, like, point the finger down emoji.
Yeah.
That gets more reach than when she posts educational ones or putting a post of
Well,
picture of the office. Like,
That's kind of
would
like a
be
beautiful picture of our campus will get way more interaction than, something about, become a paralegal. So I think it's just what people like,
I mean, it's literally the word Wednesday will get more, will get more reach than a picture or anything. And so, because what we do now is put our availability in our comments.
Yeah.
Notice that. So that's what we do. Or just put Happy Wednesday or
Yeah.
something like that, and it gets more.
Sometimes it's,
Negative words get more reach.
Yes, we've noticed that.
is it because people were tagging their friends?
No.
Now, if I make a joke about using negative, like,
I don't remember what it is, something.
I don't know, just bad something, and it got more reach then.
What? This is consistently?
That's what I've noticed.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, it could
But we
play
wanna
into
put
the
it out.
algorithm. I hope not, but
Because we want to put out like information about massage and how massage help or stretch. And so we'll put what stretch is, and we don't get that much reach.
Maybe a video to show it. I would say challenge with a video behind it.
behind the scenes,
Yeah, that's what we wrote down.
yeah.
Do you
Sometimes
do any
it's
before and
tough,
afters
but-
with clients?
Ooh,
Yes.
yeah, that's a good one.
We've done some, not a lot. Yeah, we probably do with the range of motion. Yeah.
That could be really good. And then
Excuse you.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Is it true that Facebook will not show your post if they don't like the content?
Yes, like low quality. So at that point, I would recommend getting your fans, your people that really love you, to start sharing your stuff so you can get back on that high quality train.
If
Yes.
you put like your phone number in your post, sometimes they'll not show that at all because they're wanting you to pay for advertising as opposed to.
Facebook is really, I will say advertising is really inexpensive on Facebook, but I don't think you should have to pay though. But yeah, maybe trying it in the comments, that sort of
because
stuff.
if we put, hey, this is our availability, because they know that we're marketing our business, the reach is very low.
Because they want you to pay. It's terrible.
But if somebody else shares your post, they don't edit it. They don't
Right.
take it down.
Yeah.
So I think the secret there is for everybody to share everybody's posts and
Yes.
comment on everybody's business and.
Yes, like share the love,
Yes.
basically. Yes. Yes. Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah, so the company I work for, we've been in business for 4 years and we have over 20,000 likes. And we put most of our marketing dollars at the very beginning into paying for social media. So we would boost our
Posts.
posts, and then every time that I would post something, I would email our entire company and I would tell them to share it and to say something different because the different keywords go to different people. And so from there, 4 years and 20,000 likes, and so, but we put our marketing, a lot of our marketing budget towards our demographic, or towards our social media to boost our posts.
It's really good. Yes.
For the phone number thing, if you post I use Canva, so whenever I post a picture or do a little video, if you put your phone number on that picture or video, they don't. Yeah. It's not in the don't type it out. Put it on the content that you're posting. I put my name and phone number, email on the content, and they don't flag that.
It becomes part of the image?
Yeah. So on
we don't
Canva.
flag it.
Yeah, so on Canva, I'll either upload a photo or create our own thing, or
So long as it's not in the.
in the type.
The
yeah,
type.
don't type it on there. Put it on your content.
Pornographic.
As the graphic, or like myself and then our company too gets a lot of feedback if we post like a video, even if it's just like the picture scrolling in and scrolling out, or just like zooming in on a word or zooming out. People like that, and videos pop up at the top of the list more than a photo does. Like videos are like the highest looked at things, even if
So yeah, even if it's a
Yeah.
2-3 second video, that is important.
Mhm.
And then Canva, I should have mentioned Canva.
Canva.
If you're
Big
at
fans of
all,
Canva.
me too, all day long. Free, super user friendly. And I will say, I found that it works a lot better on a computer versus the mobile. The mobile version isn't quite there yet, but I use that all day, and you can make stuff look very nice, you know. So
And you can keep your brand colors on camera too.
yeah.
And
yes,
that's the pro version.
so important. Yes.
I have a success and then a question.
Sure.
My success would be that I got a call as the chamber president from a member. Well, he was a hardware store, not this was in Brownwood, and he was posting fertilizers on sale today, and paint is on special, and that's what he was posting on his Facebook. And he said, I don't get any likes or share. I said, well, yeah, duh. So I said, instead, make yourself an expert and talk to them about the value of fertilizer, and then end with, it's on sale.
Yeah.
And then talk about the difference between this type of paint and that type of paint, and then it's on sale.
So good. Yes.
So you've given them something to view you as an expert.
Because you
And-
really are in your industry.
Yes,
You know, nobody knows
yes,
that
and all he
about
was doing was posting
fertilizers.
specials, and it was boring to people. And my question is, we had somebody do a Facebook specific topic for us about a year and a half ago, and he pretty much told us that Facebook, based on your number of followers or likes, kind of allocates an amount of organic engagement that they're assigning to you, if you will.
Yes.
Like you've got 300 likes that you're allotted for the day based on your likes. And so if you post once or twice, that more people will see that from your pool. But if you post 10 times, and I one time saw the Ennis Chamber one day posted 19 times in one day. And each of those had reach of 2 or 3. And I thought, that's what's happening there. They're posting so much, and it's getting such low engagement that they're wasting their time, right?
Right.
So, okay, so is that true? Is that
I
how
don't know. The algorithm
algorithms work?
changes, I mean, month
So
to
what you told
month.
us a year and a half ago, probably no longer relevant?
Probably not, but you wonder if that's because they're trying to get you to do ads, you know what I mean? So this is what we're gonna, yeah.
And they don't want to be sold to, that's the big thing on the
Right.
platforms, is you have to talk to these, so for Elite, you guys, just when you're doing it, they don't want to be sold to. So my bigger content that I've had, and I did two that went viral, one was my red Solo cup. It was shared like 295 times.
Wow.
It was because I didn't know that Solo cups in the middle, those are like teaspoons and tablespoons and half cups. So it's really cool. Find that one. And then I did a bacon post. It was like crispy to non-crispy, like pick 1 through 4. And that was shared like 500 and something times.
What organization are you with? We gotta go see.
What's that?
What organization are you
I'm
with?
with Verity Mortgage. It was a couple.
Okay.
I've got it on a
Okay.
canvas, so I'll show you. It's
Okay.
absolutely incredible. But it's like stupid stuff like that. People want to be, they don't want to be sold to. So of course, mortgages we can't sell to people. But if we engage in the content and be the expert, then those reaches.
Yes. That's
I've
good.
gotten the most feedback on a Bachelor in Paradise post.
Absolutely.
Because they relate to
Because
it.
they
yeah.
relate, and then I mean, they'll interact with me, and now my stuff will show up more because they interacted and they liked it. Just based on I post about the Bachelor in Paradise, and people comment and talk, and now all my stuff.
And you're
will
like,
pop up on
what?
it,
Oh
so,
my
yeah.
God.
I'm like, whatever works.
So, okay, who are you with?
Mid America Mortgage.
Okay, cool.
I did want to say, you said something earlier about if you post a picture, how they may not share the post, but they may save the picture and repost it. Make sure you put your logo on it. So I did a problem with that. I worked for a home builder, and through the freeze, I created this thing about like what you need to do for your houses, you know, to be prepared for the freeze. Well, a guy I worked with 15 years ago his wife ended up posting it, not knowing, like somehow it got to her, but it wasn't reposted from me. So if I would have had our logo on it, you know, our name would have gotten out there even more. So I think that's a key factor too, is make sure to put your logo on like your
On the
on the content that you're sharing. So if people just decide to save it and not share your page, like your logo is still on there.
Last question, one more. One more, go ahead. Not done,
Anything
I have
else?
a question about the stories thing.
Sure.
I'm not on Facebook because I would, delete the city's website or something. So, it said that it deletes after 24 hours. Can you repost that if it's something important?
Yeah.
That you need to keep, okay.
Yeah,
So can you program it to just
You
continue?
can't schedule those, which is tough. Well, yeah, you can't schedule those. I think because it's meant to be more live,
Sure.
you know. But you can repost them the next day.
On your business, you can schedule those posts.
Well,
That's something she.
I'm not a fan of that, but yes.
So what I normally do
There
that
are
way,
a couple of
Knows that one, but I thought it
I'll
was
post
funny.
it into like my timeline, and then I'll post the same thing into my story, and then put like a fun little GIF to make it more like interactive. And so therefore, if they see it, if they need to go back, it's on your page too.
Thanks, Courtney. Yay.
Yay.
Thanks for being with us today. My name is Dave Arnott. I gained a follower this morning. It's the dog. What a follower is, the dog follows me. Is that?
Yeah.
Courtney, draw, please. Help us draw for
We're
a
going to
Starbucks card.
Oh, how fun!
Coffee's good.
Lori Henderson.
And there you go.
Oh,
Lori.
Presley. No.
Presley Pediatrics.
Oh, Presley. Oh, Cynthia Presley.
Yay. Now, everybody who's a chamber member is going to get a copy of all these cards. So anybody you didn't meet, you can network with later.
Okay, very good. Kevin and Candace, somebody at our table had a question this morning. So Pete's does more than tires?
Absolutely, we do.
That's our subject, November 3rd. Are you selling the right products and services? You probably are, but somebody at our table didn't know.
We get that all the time.
That's that, and I said, yeah, of course they're more than tires. That's our subject, November 3, Wednesday, November 3, 8 o'clock in this room. Are you selling the right products and services with Tara Peters? See you then. Bye-bye.